If your autistic child doesn't run into your arms after a hard day, doesn't say, "I love you," the way other kids do, or seems calmest when they're alone, it's easy to worry that something is broken between you. It isn't. Autistic children form deep, secure bonds with their parents just as often as any other child. The bids for connection just look different. Today, we're going to walk through how attachment actually forms with a child like Tom, and the everyday moments that either build trust. Tom is 6. He rarely says, "I love you." He almost never runs for a hug. And for a long time, that made Sarah quietly wonder if she was doing something wrong. She isn't. Autistic children form attachments just as deeply as any other child. The bond is there. It's the language of it that's different. For Tom, connection doesn't usually sound like words. It looks like handing you the crayon he's using, sitting near you instead of on you, showing you his drawing without a word. These are bids for connection, just as real as a hug if you know how to see them. The risk isn't that Tom won't bond. The risk is that his bids get missed simply because they don't look like what we expect bonding to look like. And when bids get missed again and again, not out of neglect, just out of not recognizing them, a child can learn the same lesson any child learns. Reaching out doesn't always get noticed. This isn't about blame. Parents are tired, busy, and doing their best with a communication style that isn't always taught anywhere. It's about learning to notice. And once you know what to look for, it gets easier fast. Lily already does this instinctively. She's learned to watch her brother's hands and eyes more than his words. "He's telling you something," Lily says one afternoon, pointing at how Tom keeps glancing at the door. "He wants to go outside." Sarah follows Tom's glance instead of asking him to explain in words, and Tom looks back at her, just for a second, like he's been seen. That's the foundation, not big dramatic gestures, just consistently noticing the small, quiet ways Tom already reaches out. Let's look at the specific moments that shape how safe Tom feels reaching out, starting with meltdowns. A meltdown isn't misbehavior. For Tom, it's often a nervous system that's been overwhelmed by sound, light, or texture past its limit. How Michael responds in that moment teaches Tom something lasting. Either, "When I'm overwhelmed, someone helps me feel safe," or "When I'm overwhelmed, I'm on my own." Michael doesn't try to talk Tom out of the meltdown. He lowers his voice, dims his own energy, and simply stays close. No fixing, no rushing, just steady presence until Tom's body finds its way back to calm. That's co-regulation, lending Tom a calm nervous system until his own can settle. It's one of the most protective things a parent can offer. The second moment, sensory needs. When Tom pulls away from a scratchy shirt or covers his eyes in bright light, it isn't pickiness. It's real, physical discomfort. Respecting it, instead of insisting he just deal with it, tells Tom his body's signals matter. Every time a sensory need is honored instead of dismissed, Tom learns his discomfort will be taken seriously, a core piece of feeling safe enough to keep reaching out. The third moment, how his drawings and quiet activities get treated. To Tom, showing you his drawing is a big deal. When Sarah stops what she's doing, gets close, and really looks, even for 10 seconds, Tom learns that sharing his world is welcome. When attention is rushed or distracted, the lesson is quieter, but just as real. What I shared doesn't always land. 10 focused seconds, done consistently, does more than an hour of distracted attention. The fourth moment, patience with communication. Tom might take longer to respond, or answer with an action instead of words. Rushing him to just say it teaches that his natural pace and style aren't good enough. Waiting teaches that he'll be met exactly as he is. The fifth moment, praise. It's easy to praise Tom most when he's calm and undemanding, and say less when he's struggling. Try to notice, Is your warmth just as present when Tom is overwhelmed and needs you as when he's calm and easy? Both versions of Tom deserve the same welcome. That consistency is what tells him love isn't conditional on being easy. Lily plays a quiet role in all of this too. She models what patient, curious connection looks like every single day. She doesn't need Tom to talk the way she does. She just meets him where he is, and he leans into that. None of these moments look dramatic on their own, but repeated for months and years, they add up to something Tom carries with him. A felt sense, deep down, that his family notices him, even when he doesn't say much, even when he's overwhelmed, even when connection looks nothing like a hug. This is what secure attachment looks like for a child like Tom. Not identical to every other child's, but just as real and just as deep. Tom grows, this foundation won't disappear. It'll shape how safe he feels asking for help, at school, with friends, and later in life. Children who learn early that their signals get noticed carry that trust forward. It becomes part of how they expect the world to treat them. This doesn't mean every day will be easy. There will still be hard meltdowns, tired parents, and moments that don't go perfectly. What matters isn't perfection. It's the pattern, repeated enough times that Tom can trust. And that pattern is something any parent can build, no matter how the day started or how hard yesterday was. You don't need to be a perfect parent to Tom. You need to be a consistently noticing one. So here are 3 things that actually help, starting today. Tip 1. Learn Tom's bids. Watch his hands, his eyes, and his actions, not just his words, for the ways he's already reaching out. Tip 2. Co-regulate during meltdowns instead of correcting. Lower your voice, get close, and simply stay. The calm returns faster than you'd expect. Tip 3. Give your warmest attention when Tom is struggling, not only when he's easy. That consistency is what builds trust that lasts. None of this requires getting it right every time. Tom doesn't need a flawless parent. He needs one who keeps noticing and keeps coming back. Every autistic child is different. Some love physical affection, some don't. Some communicate with words, some with actions. Tom's story is one version, not the only one. What stays true across all of them is this: connection is possible, and it grows through the small, patient moments, not the big, dramatic ones. If you're raising an autistic child, and some days feel uncertain, know this: the noticing, the patience, and the small returns to calm are already building something real. If this helped you understand your child a little better, subscribe. We break down the real science behind autism parenting, one everyday moment at a time.